Hi, I'm Luke Sherville. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. Today we're going to talk about a job that I did towards the end of last year, 2021, in December. Let's roll the tape. So it's a product intro produced for a trade show. Show off the product's capabilities with a simple story. Kid runs out into the street chasing a ball, but doesn't get run over because the car that approaches him has smart tech that has faster reflexes than you do. It was a single night shoot. We started setting up around noon. Here's some time lapse. And the condor gets dropped off. We have to drive it down the street, turn it around so the bucket's in the right orientation, and build out the frame. It's about 4 feet deep, 8 by 12, and you have some pipe that goes up above to sort of give it a little more stability. Attach it to that bucket, and then add the two 1200Cs. They're flat right in the middle there, next to each other. And then at a certain point, I have to raise the box, put the 12 by, bring it around to the front, and then wrap it with the visqueen. The speed clips come in handy to make it a really nice tight fit. As you can see, the base light was a simple Moonbox with two Nanlux 1200Cs. We could have done it with one, but it's nice to have the redundancy when you go through all the trouble to rig something like this. Plus, two gave us a better spread. We didn't want to skirt it, just let it spill like the moon. Jeff Nealon was the key, and Ernie Kunze was the best grip.
Oh, it's a 12 by 8, and
Jeff Nealon, our key grip, designed it to the specs of our Gaffer.
And we used a half grid and wrapped one side in the bottom, and then we used 4mm white visqueen, which is like a 250-1-250, to wrap the rest of it with a little excess so we could fold it under in hospital corners so we had no light leaks.
With hospital corners.
Yes.
Now that's attention to detail. Alan Steinheimer was the best electric. To make it worth his while, we combined our trucks. So he brought his 2-ton, I had mine. He brought his two Nanlux 1200Cs, and I brought mine. And then he brought the 6500 Jenny, and we cobbled together a number of 2K, 3K Jennies from the rest of the crew. Here's Alan talking electrical.
So I'm wondering if you can tell me how you're powering this Moonbox.
Yeah, we're doing it a little differently than we do normally. We had the option tonight of running 220. Basically all LEDs now, almost all LEDs, can run off of 220. And sometimes that's more convenient. You can use a little bit smaller gauge of cable. You can run a little bit farther without the voltage drop. And sometimes, like if you have HMIs in the same circuits and stuff, they also run off of 220. It balances your legs out. There's a couple advantages. The main disadvantage, of course, is someone plugs a hair dryer into the outlet that they don't realize is 220. So we heavily label basically everything with yellow tape. You can't really see, but 220. And then we tape the ends generally as well. So, but one possible way to run off a small Jenny. So you could potentially run them off of one stinger. We actually are running off of one stinger. I ran one as a backup just in case, because it would take so long to get there.
So the basic setup was you've got the Moonbox above, then a direct but soft push from another Nanlux 1200C through a DOP Choice 5-foot Octa. And then we had an Aputure Nova P600c. This was the first time I'd used it. Into a 12 by Ultra Bounce as a soft fill. And all these units were playing very low. Sometimes the Moonbox was at like 3 to 5%. We did not need a lot of light, but just nice to have that capability there. We could have had any color we wanted. We put in sort of a regular 5600, I think. Maybe we warmed it up, if anything, to like 5000, but I think we were pretty much at daylight, and the soft push from the 5-foot Octa, I think that was a little bit warmer, 5000 range. But then, the lights that were up and down the street. So we were thinking sort of street lights as you looked one way down the street and then the other way. So I was originally, I had planned to put like an M8 and a 600D at either end of the street, but we didn't really need that. So we ended up just with two 600Ds, one at one end and one at the other end. And then when we looked, brought the angle of the shot that way, we turn that on and aim it. When you look at the yard where the kids are playing, there's a yard lamp that had a NYX bulb. There were two lamps either side of the garage door. Those were NYX bulbs. And then inside we had like a 300X and a 300D. Those were both Aputures that were just sort of bringing up the ambience so you could feel like there was signs of life in the house there. Other than that, yeah, not too much going on. But yeah, just sort of setting all that up and having that play. Then as we move the camera around, mostly on sticks or lower, but not a lot of movement there. And then later on, we brought a jib in. Our Barcelona bringing in his jib. Then we moved a little bit more because we had to be wider, and we either looked down one end of the street or the other. And so we shifted things around a little bit. We moved the arm of the Moonbox to bring that large ambient source, a little, change the angle of that a little bit, not much. And then when we had the close-up on the young boy who comes out into the street, we have a close-up on him, but instead of using the car, we used two Prolycht Orion 300 FSs to be the headlights of the car. So we just matched those to the car headlamps, and that worked well. So, in the final cut, everything's pretty quick, but of course we had to do it safely, so the kid and the car are never in movement together. It's either one or the other.
3, 2, 1, action.
And then it's all done in cuts. We had everything running on blackout from an iPad through the light panels Apollo bridge. This shoot was a great way to end the year, with good people on a project that was well thought out and executed. Shout out to Quinn Gardner for helping us set up and wrap. Thanks, man. Producer was Rob Ernst. Director, Cheryl Isaacson. DP, Peter Lindsay. Great team. I'd follow them into battle anytime. It was more like an end of the year party. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. I don't know what it is about this photo, but it kind of encapsulates my feelings about this job as a wonderful way to end the year. 2 trucks, 2 good friends, wonderful crew, fun concept. Even though there was a lot going on that evening, it seemed to go by quite quickly, and we got out of there and everybody was smiling. So even though it was starting to rain at the end, I don't know. It's wonderful to have those kinds of shoots here and there, and it seems like as you get older, maybe you have more of them.